What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Street Parking Podcast. I'm super pumped about this episode with one of our members who's here to do the vault with us because you've probably never heard of him. I had never heard of him before a couple months ago. Here today with me is Jake D'Angelo. My first introduction to Jake was when we participated in the Open with CrossFit this year, seeing a name who was tying Julian on all of the workouts and a person I had never heard of before in my life on the street parking leaderboard. And I was like, is this person trolling our leaderboard? I've never seen him before. He doesn't post. I couldn't find him on social media. Who is this person? I didn't know if he was just like a spouse or added the hashtag so that he could see what street parking was all about. But nope, I looked it up and Jake D'Angelo was actually a member, had been a member since August of 2019 and was on the roster to do the vault workouts with us, and his partner, which you'll see his workout later on in the week, is with Julian, of course, because it just had to be. So I'm super pumped to talk to Jake. Jake is a state trooper. He's a dad. He is an awesome athlete, obviously, but he's not somebody who's super active in the community. And so I think it's interesting to hear that side of it, because most of the podcasts that we do are with people who are super out there on social. And so people kind of already know their story in a way, a little bit. And so Jake, you're a little bit more of a mystery. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
All right. So I don't even know where to start. You became a street parking member in August of 2019.
Yep.
You told me that you started CrossFit in 2013.
Correct.
So like 6 years before that.
Yeah.
What did you do? Let's go even before that. Did you play high school sports? Did you participate in, what was your fitness before CrossFit? You're 31 years old now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I played football basically my whole life.
Oh, okay.
Played in high school. Played lacrosse. Was
Nice.
real big into both of them. Kind of found fitness in high school doing sports. Just the normal, everyone's heard it before, but Monday chest, Tuesday back and
right,
bi,
of course.
the whole normal routine. And just once I got to college, it kind of just got boring. I was trying to look for a little bit more. I was still trying to be competitive as much as I possibly could. And one of my teachers actually in high school, I knew he was doing CrossFit. And I was always kind of curious, but it was always like, man, it looks intense. You know, you see the Rich Fronings and Jason
like you would see your
Kalibas.
teacher actually doing the workouts?
He would post. Like, so when
Okay.
I graduated, like, we would be friends on a social media platform before I started deleting all social medias. And I'd be like, man, this looks intense. This guy's, he's doing ring muscle ups and handstand push-ups, rope climbs. And I remember reaching out to him, and he was more than happy to teach me. And then I got lucky because two of my roommates in college were into
Did you play
CrossFit.
football in college?
I did not.
Okay.
No. But my now wife, when she was my girlfriend, she was doing CrossFit at our local affiliate.
Okay.
Two of my roommates in college, we all got into CrossFit, and it was easy because like I wasn't alone. Like I had two people to push me, and
right.
Kind of just stuck with it from there. That's
cool. Okay, so you start going to the CrossFit affiliate, and we have a mutual friend.
Yes.
Who is now, you said, is one of your best friends. Absolutely. Which is funny, somebody that I used to work with on the CrossFit seminar staff. And so you had good people around you teaching you how to move well and good programming and all of that, I'm sure, and a good experience with all of that. Let's not cut to. What was because you are so, you're incredibly fit. You're probably one of the more fit guys in our community, at least the ones that we know of. Who knows?
Yeah.
And I think that's so true because the same thing happened, by the way, on the women's side of our open leaderboard. Like were women ahead of me on the leaderboard who I have never heard of before.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which is, I think, and I'm so excited to talk to you. I think that's awesome. So between 2013 and 2019, were you actively trying to be competitive? Were you just going to class? Like, what was that experience like for you at the CrossFit gym?
And I don't want to say this, I don't want to come off wrong or say negative, but I definitely was drinking the Kool-Aid.
Okay, no, for sure.
The whole shoe fetish of too many CrossFit shoes.
You're wearing a different pair of shoes right now than you were wearing yesterday. So you brought more than one pair of shoes with you on this trip.
But it's the same style of shoes.
But it's the two pairs. You packed two pairs is what I'm trying to say.
Anyway, Yeah, no, I definitely bought into it a little too much. Like, after you start learning,
Literally
stuff
bought into it.
bought literally and figuratively. The group of individuals we had at our affiliate, we had a lot of competitive of people and just a great group of people, like-minded people that want to eat well, but also want to beat each other in a gym. But once that workout was done, it was maybe a little trash talk, but also like, good job. And
Right, of course.
like the good camaraderie. But we, I definitely had, wanted to compete, saw the CrossFit Games, like that's something I could see myself doing. And then after a while, it's just more of, I don't need to do that. I need to focus on training for other things in life, like especially I was going into the police academy. Before I started CrossFit, I wasn't a trooper yet, so
Okay.
just focusing on getting ready for that, and recently focusing on more longevity than getting strength numbers or getting PRs.
Okay, so when you were, you had already started CrossFit and then you decided you wanted to be an officer.
Long term, I mean, it was definitely one of my goals in life is I wanted to be a law enforcement officer.
Okay, cool.
Especially a trooper.
What, when did that happen for you? When did you get hired and start working as a trooper?
2018. I went through the academy from January 2018 to July of 2018.
Okay, cool. And then shortly after that then is when you transitioned to start doing street parking because you joined in August of 2019, so like a year and a half later.
Yeah, so we moved, and I wasn't going to be nowhere close to the affiliate.
Because you were in New Jersey, and where do you live now?
Still live in New Jersey.
But a different...
I'm just like 30 minutes south of where
Okay.
I was living.
Okay.
Wasn't willing to make that drive, especially working nights or days. It's just too hard. Like I would never be able to make a class. So it just made a lot of sense. And I'd always followed you and Julian, and
Because you drank the Kool-Aid.
I could drink the Kool-Aid.
We were part of it.
I was.
We were in the Kool-Aid.
I was, definitely. No, but I definitely respected it and had a long talk with Joey. And
Nice.
He definitely hyped us up as well. And I mean, it's been worth it. It's made coming home from work and just doing something like with the Fitness Freedom with A, B, C, or shift. However I'm feeling that day, it's easy to get a workout done.
You know, what's funny is pretty much the reason that you started doing street parking is why we started full-time doing street parking as well. Because when we started the Instagram page, it was the same week that we moved in together.
Okay.
And we lived in Southern California where traffic is just crazy. And I trained often at CrossFit Chalk, which was in Newport. And he was living in like North LA and he trained at Training Yard. But both of those places from where we were living together, if there was any traffic, like, I mean, where he was moving from was super far, but even just to go to the more local, the CrossFit Chalk, like it would have taken us an hour to get there, an hour to get back if you leave at the wrong time. And so that's when we really started full-time transitioning into doing only at home. It's for the same reason. It was just like, this is not, I'll be gone for 4 hours to do a 1 hour thing.
Yeah, exactly.
And it was before we had kids and everything. But so I think that happens to a lot of people. But where I think it's interesting to talk to you because I think a lot of times people see myself or Molly or Julian and it's like, yeah, but you guys are different or whatever. And it's like, no, I think there's a lot more of us in the community that come from a background where we were super into it with the Kool-Aid and everything and try to be competitive. Because that transition is hard at first. So when you started working out at home, my first question is, what equipment did you have like right away? Did you go and buy like a huge purchase right away, or did you just kind of start to build slowly?
Build it slowly. So at that point, it was my fiance, like I said, now my wife. We were moving. Man, our first garage, you couldn't even fit a smart car.
Oh, it was tiny.
It was small. Like I couldn't do a press if the garage door was open.
Yeah, because you're tall anyways, but then the garage was small.
Yes, exactly. If we were doing like a partner workout, one of us would have to be in like the laundry room watching, and then we'd have to like tag team each other in.
And it's cold in New Jersey, so it's not like you can just open the door year round.
Yes,
okay.
Exactly. But yeah, when we moved, I might have had like 2 mats and a couple of like mats that were like cut prior from my old gym owner. One affiliate was closing down, so I bought a rower for pretty cheap.
Nice. You had to figure out where you're going to put it.
Yeah, well, we were storing things at like my mom's house or her mom's house and dad's house before we moved because we had a condo. But we had the rower. I had a wall pull-up bar. I was lucky enough to have a yoke. Actually, one of the
That
first.
thing is huge, though.
I took it down in pieces. I kept it in the backyard. One of the first workouts I could remember doing from street parking was your birthday workout. I believe it's your birthday, where it's the devil press of the number.
Fran, devil press, yes.
So I had to do that workout. I had nothing in my gym at that point, and I did the devil press. Had to sprint outside to the backyard and do Fran on the yoke, which was in the summertime. It was blazing hot.
Oh, yeah.
And the grip's real fat. I had to do strict pull-ups.
Wow.
Run back in, do it. And I remember that's kind of, I think, where my mindset started to change. Is I was not happy at first because like I couldn't.
My time's all messed up, like everything. Yes.
I couldn't kip. I had to do strict. The grip was fat. The bars were blazing hot, and I had to run back and forth. Like it probably was a little bit more than a minute of rest, and I don't know how. And I remember, like now I look back at that, I was like, man, that was so cool. Like because one of the main parts of like CrossFit and even this is variance.
Right.
And just to do that, like I've never done it again that way. I don't have the yoke anymore.
Right.
But just the fact that I got to do it that way and look back and be like, you know, not many people are going to do it that way ever.
Yes.
It's really cool. And like I said, at that time, I was really mad. I was like, I got to get this gym going quicker. But now I'm looking back, I'm like, that was pretty awesome that I got to do it that way.
That's like such an important mind shift. And I think all of us that come from like we were super in it, especially like in a competitive way background, like had to go through this almost, we've called it like CrossFit rehab period.
Yeah.
Where it's like, that, I mean, especially like I think about what you do for your job, like that whole setup is actually probably more applicable to your job because it's like, it's kind of more random. And it's like, if you're pulling yourself up on something out, you know, when you're doing your job, it's not going to be this perfect pull-up bar with the, you know, it's going to be random stuff that you're pulling yourself up and over, or you're having to run out to the backyard and then run back the other way and all of this. And I think mentally it trains you to just be more ready for anything. Yeah. And I think that's originally how CrossFit was supposed to be. But then with the introduction of competition and standards and rules and even now like floor plans and everything, if you deviate outside of that, it messes people's mental game up. Like immediately they're like they check out of it, or they think like, oh, I'm not going to do a good job, or this isn't a good workout or whatever. And we went through that a lot of times as well. I mean, I obviously was pregnant also at the same time, so there was a lot of stuff I had to modify anyways. But it's something that I think people struggle with. And it's one of the reasons that we didn't like the leaderboard too, because you would want to enter your score and log that you did that workout, but your score is not even close to comparable to other people's because nobody else did what you did exactly.
Yes.
And it shouldn't make you feel like your workout was less. It was probably in a lot of ways more challenging, just in a different way, because of the way you were pulling and everything. Yeah. But it's like, so that's such a cool story for you to tell. And okay, so you started with that small space. You guys still live in that same place?
No, so we moved. Really fun. Like we ended up moving a little bit further east, still in New Jersey, and the house we bought has a detached 3-car bar or pole barn in our backyard.
Wow. Okay, that's a big difference.
So now I'm able to hang rings and do ring muscle ups. I mean, it's still where the beam is. I have to like curl my feet or tuck my knees. So
I've seen this actually. I stalked you so hard to try to figure out who you were that I found your wife, and I've seen this space of yours. Yes.
Yes, my wife will. First off, she is my best friend. Like now she is like where Joey was probably like my number one workout partner.
Yeah.
She's that person.
That's
for
awesome.
a while I worked out by myself. She went through 2 pregnancies.
Yeah.
Stronger than me because I could never do that. So God bless you guys. But, yeah, she's like my workout partner. I beat her in, I would say, 85, 90% of workouts. And it's not a shot at her. Like she would agree.
Yeah.
But she's also gone through a lot of things than me. But when she beats me, I know the smack talk is coming.
Oh my gosh, I'm the same way.
Yeah.
There's one workout, our 12 Days of Christmas workout. Julian has never beat me at it. He cannot, like there's something about it. I don't know what it is. And he's just like, I mean, I bring it up. It's every year. It's like he goes for it too. Like he'll wreck himself trying to, and I don't know why. He beats me in literally everything else except for that.
For me, it's like, like I'm trying to be, I'm trying to beat my wife, and there's times where like she's so close to me, and I'm like, did not want to push this hard today.
Yeah,
Like,
he does that
you
too.
are
He'll be like, wow, you really came out hot on that one.
Yeah,
Like,
no.
why did you do that?
And she'll be like, I'll see her. She'll go on a high, like, oh, okay, I pushed him today. But there's times, I think it was last week, it was like that, it was like 3 sets of a 6-minute AMRAP of like bike and burpees.
Oh,
bike.
yeah.
First off, crushing workout, loved it. But the day after we did, it was a farmer carry and power clean with like, you can't put it down or you gotta do jumping lunges. My wife never broke. I broke twice. And just the look on her face when she was completed the workout, and I'm still doing the walks. I was like, it wasn't even like
You got to let
beat
the
me. It was
moms
like,
have their wins because it's like so satisfying when you feel
Yeah.
like, okay.
we are each other's biggest competitors, but we are also each other's big supporters. Like,
Yeah.
and it's our kids are probably gonna grow up to see what smack talk and like just being like fun is all about, because even in the house, like we like to kind of push each other a little
Yeah.
bit, but like we really laugh at it, and we like really do have a good relationship with that.
Oh, I think it's so cool. I love seeing couples that do it together. And whether, I mean, it sounds like you guys have a similar level of fitness, but obviously that's not the case in a lot of
Yeah.
places, and that's totally fine. I just love to see the couples that push each other. And I'm the only person really that Julian will allow to, like, I can bully him and be like, you should go heavier, or you should do this, or you should, like, no one else will really
Like what he did
impact him, but he knows that I'm saying it from a place of, I think you're capable of it, not just like I'm saying it to try to get you to feel worse or something like that. So, you guys did we can't say what your workout was, but you guys, as the time of this recording, you guys have already done it.
Yep.
And it was awesome. And when he tested it, I told him, I was like, when you do that again, you got to do it heavier. And you guys did it heavier.
So it's funny. I won't give anything away because I don't know when this will come out.
It comes out like a couple days before your workout does.
Okay, so I won't give anything away, but I went in there and read the workout. They told me who I was doing it against. I was like, all right, cool. Like, he's probably gonna want to use this and do it at this weight. And then he goes, yeah, we're gonna do it at this weight, which was a little bit heavier than what I anticipated. And if you knew me as an athlete, you know, like, that's not my wheelhouse. Like, I'm a body weight engine.
Really?
Because
you're such a big guy, you would assume that the heavyweight is like your thing.
I'm engine like those longer AMRAPs, 20, 25 minutes. Like, Murph's one of my favorite workouts. Yeah, lightweight. I don't. Especially
Wow.
because I've been trying.
How much do you weigh?
205.
Okay.
6 foot, 205.
Okay.
But I've been trying for the past, I don't know, 8 months, maybe 9 months. I've been trying to get away. Like, I won't deadlift more than 225 now.
Right.
Once in a while, we did that workout. It was the vault workout with the extending deadlifts. I did do that extra challenge because once in a while, I think it's
Yeah,
okay,
that was like a couple weeks ago. Yeah.
that one hurt.
Yes.
But yeah, I try not to deadlift more than 225. Like, I'll do body weight, bench, pressing. I try not to go crazy anymore. Like, I'm really trying to get away from that heavier lifting style of I got to hit a 1 rep max to more of just like looking for longevity and just doing this basically like I want to be able to pick up grandkids. I don't want to have all these shoulder injuries or surgeries where it's like, yeah, that was a good 1 rep max, but was it worth it? Like,
Right.
At this point, through the 1 rep max, I don't even get excited when I see them anymore. It's more of just there.
Okay, so this is one of the reasons I was really excited to talk to you because you are super fit. I think, most dudes that are looking to work out, they look at someone like Julian or someone like you and they're like, yeah, I want to look like that. They're super fit. Like, but both of you say that same thing. Like, I don't really lift heavy anymore. I don't really, it doesn't really excite me. Like, Julian will throw some clean and jerks or snatches into like an EMOM every once in a while, but he's not like you're saying, like going for heavy 1 rep maxes. Can't even picture him trying to do like a 1 rep max deadlift or back squat or anything like that. But street parking is, we have a bigger percentage of women in the community than men. And I feel like, and you can tell me what your thoughts are on this, I feel like the reason for that is guys look at the programming and they feel like, well, I need to be doing more. Like, I need the heavy lifting. I need the this and that. I want, like, I don't know if it's like an ego thing or it's just what men think that men need or whatever. Why do you not feel that way? And what would like your like advice to people that are struggling with that? Like, they're holding on to it almost.
Because I was the same way when I first joined CrossFit. I was dropping weight and I was like physically, like I dropped pounds and I was like, I don't know if I like like this. Like I want to do, and I told our affiliate, like, they're like, what do you want to see more of? And I said, more heavy lifts.
Of course.
Yeah, and I loved it. Who doesn't love a good barbell? Especially, like you said, the guys are. It's a testosterone thing of like, I want to lift more than you. You want to whatever. I think what's changed over the years, like I said, go back on that longevity thing, is like I've taken a lot of movements out. Like the snatching, perfect example is I didn't snatch for months. I think snatch 95 in a power snatch. I won't squat snatch anymore. To me, it's just, when do I really need to do that movement in real life? And I hit 225 in the open, complete shock. But that'll probably be the last time I actually do that for a while. I've taken like the pistols out, and I've taken the snatching out. I've taken kipping handstand push-ups to get all that tension off. And I think I'm just at a point in my life where it's cool. I still think it's awesome. Like I still love watching the games and seeing them throw up those numbers. But from a standpoint, like I want my joints to work properly. And it's easy for me to come to terms with that, of saying, when my kids become teenagers, like I don't want to be, give dad like 10 minutes. I need a break. Like, whatever we're doing, like we're running around, if we're playing basketball or throwing football, soccer. Like I don't want to be that parent that's, give me 10 minutes. Like, you know what? I got this knee injury from lifting heavy all the time. Like I want to be able to be like, I want to be the one that's throwing the ball back to them. Be like, come on, you tired? Like, let's go. Like I want to set that example to them that like, even though I'm older, like I'm still moving. Like, and I don't have to do that heavy. Like I want to be present for them their whole life. Like I don't want to have them waiting on me.
So you've been a member for almost 4 years. What does what kind of the programs do you follow then? Because I think you've been in it enough time, or for long enough now, that you can't just say like, oh, well, he's still super fit because 2 years ago he was still doing competitive class at CrossFit, right? So since you've started and to now, like is it the daily workout? Do you do the extra programs? Do you do, I know you mentioned that you really love the dirty work stuff, but like what's like and I know you said your schedule varies because of work and your kids and everything, but give people an idea of how much of the programming you do, or what journey you've been on through all of that.
Dirty work's definitely was my favorite, especially the D-balls.
Yeah. So fun.
Yeah, we did that workout yesterday, and as painful as it was, loved every minute of it. Like the after workout with the group. Yeah,
I mean, these guys, our neighbors were probably like, what is happening? There was like 20 people in our circle with sleds and D-balls and everything. It was awesome.
We must have some good neighbors because it was really loud yesterday with the sleds going. Yeah, so it's funny. Depending on the type of day, I could be up at 4:30 in the morning.
Okay.
For a workout, and those are the days where I know once again, a couple years ago, I probably would have been really mad. Like, I'm not going to be at my optimal training.
Of course.
But now I'm like, all right, let me pick something that, like maybe an EMOM or something, even on like the daily workouts, it might be something where it might require a little bit more intensity. I know I'm not going to have it, and it's just better to move and sweat than do nothing.
Right.
The 11 o'clock is like 12 o'clock when my kids are napping, and that's when me and my wife could really get after it.
That's like my favorite time of day to work out too.
Agreed. That's when we're big cherry pickers.
Okay.
And so we'll save the most intense or the longer workouts for those days where we know we can output. And then some days I have to work at like 5 or 6 p.m., sometime around dinner. And that's kind of just like a get in there and get it done. And it's like, we'll do the shift.
Okay.
So.
Did you hear that, everybody? Sometimes he does the shift.
Yes, I do. And I'm not going to lie.
It'll wreck you. If you're fit, shift is actually worse sometimes.
Sometimes I'm like, you know what? This is going to be. I'm
going to do way too many rounds of this thing.
And I do too many rounds, and I'm like, I'm on the ground. I'm like, that was unnecessarily hard. Like that was a lot harder than I thought.
Yeah.
So I don't really have like a set. Hey, I love doing the barbell. I like doing it. Like I really do like to switch it up. I'm a big fan of variance. I don't think you could just be good at one thing.
Do you do more than one workout in a day? Like, and what I mean by that is not separate sessions, but will you do like the daily workout and then a Suns Out Guns Out or a bro sesh or a lifting or anything like that? Do you ever double up like that?
All the time.
Okay.
But it's not, I'll pick pieces. So I'll do, as you found out yesterday, I'm a big warm up and stretching guy.
Okay. Yes.
I'll do that. And either I'll hit like a small strength piece, And like I said, when it's strength, at this point, it's more like time under tension. Like if I'm doing a deadlift, it's probably like a 4 or 5 second negative.
Nice.
Trying to just keep strength, just not 1 rep max. And then my main focus will be whatever the daily workout is, or like the dirty work workouts. And then I might hit like a small accessory piece, but I might have taken pieces from like Suns Out, Guns Out, anything like that. And maybe have just altered it a little bit, but just to kind of get some accessory piece. And sometimes with the kids, I don't even have that time. Like my kids love coming back to the gym. So
yeah, of course.
Sometimes the accessory piece has to be my main piece because I can't be dropping a barbell, or I can't be swinging a kettlebell. I have to kind of be focused on, daddy pick me up and them running around me, or my daughter loves to hop on the rower. So,
yes, they love the rower.
And my kids, God bless them, love to do.
How old are your kids?
My daughter's 3.5. My son's 1.5.
Okay, so they're both still really little.
Yes, but like they'll see me do something. Like my son kind of doesn't get it, so I'll do a burpee box jump over, and he'll just flop on the ground and then stand up. My daughter will legit climb the box.
Yeah.
It's nice when like me and my wife working out, because like while I'm resting, I'll try and pull the kids off the box or pull them off the rower, and then vice versa. So,
and see, that would be another case where when you're new and you're like used to like every second counts and my score really counts, where you could allow yourself to get super irritated with your kids, where during your rest period you're like wrangling them or talking to them or holding them, where it's like, well, I need to be like resting and prepping for, because it's not really rest at that point, and you're like out of breath, and you slow down to talk to them during. Yeah. But like, if what you're training for is real life, like what's more real life than 100%. That? Being able to take care of your kids when you're exhausted and when you're.
I was just gonna say, better than anyone. Like you're exhausted and your kids are calling for you. There is no time to be like. It's usually between me and my wife. Like, you want to go see what they want, or sometimes like they don't want me, they want her, and vice versa. Sometimes they don't want her, they want me.
Yes.
And at home, I'm a daddy jungle gym. It's like WWE from the second I walk in. My daughter's climbing all over me, wants to climb up me. My son just wants to jump and flop on me, and it doesn't matter what kind of day I had. They just see dad. They just want to play with dad. So
do you ever wonder how parents? Because I wonder this all the time. How parents who aren't fit do it? Like how? I want to know how it actually works. Like, because even like traveling with them or taking them to the grocery store or whatever, like you have to be like physically capable. Yeah. And I'm like, how? If you get winded just being yourself, like how are you also carrying your kids and doing all of this?
I don't get it. And I mean, from working out, like mentally you have to have it. Like you have to, whether you're, what round am I on, what reps, whatever it is. And it's the same thing with kids. It's like, I hear one, where's the other one? This one wants this, what is this? And it's just, it's funny because it does go kind of hand in hand when you take a step back.
Yeah.
But yeah, when I look at parents and like, they're like not fit, or like, why do you work out? Like, I have no time to work out, and it's kind of like a bad excuse to me. And I understand some people physically, like they just.
For sure.
But.
Yeah, like the other day, even yesterday, I was carrying my 1-year-old and the 2-year-old. We were at the top of our stairs, and the 2-year-old's crying, and he also wants me to carry him. So I just pick him up and I carry them both down the stairs. Now, obviously, if I wasn't physically capable of doing that, I could take the baby down, come back up and get him, or just tell him he needs to go down the stairs on his own or whatever. But there are so many instances like that where you just take it for granted almost that you're able to do that, because it's not super common.
No, I mean, we went to Disney World in November, and between both of them, I felt like I needed like. It
was like a full GoRuck event.
Yeah, but like I don't think I could have done that without fitness.
No way.
We watched like a 30 to 45 minute show on the main stage, and my daughter wanted to sit on my head the entire time, and I just had her on my shoulders.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna lie, there's a couple times I thought I was going down. Like, I definitely felt a little lightheaded, but I couldn't imagine if I didn't work out, if I didn't do some of the uncomfortable things I've done in street parking and fitness in general, that I probably would have been like, hey babe, I'm sorry, Daddy's gotta put you down for 5 minutes.
It's just also, it trains your like mental ability to be uncomfortable and stay in that state.
Getting comfortable with being uncomfortable. It's like the biggest thing,
how would you describe what your fitness level was like right before you started street parking, like before you left the affiliate? Like what level was your fitness? If you had to describe it, like it doesn't need to be a placing or anything like that, but how?
I mean, like I would say not games-esque, but I was definitely handstand walking, zero problem, like football field length.
Okay.
I was hitting, I think, like 21, 22 unbroken ring muscle ups.
Okay.
Maybe a little bit more on the bar side. Lifting a little bit heavier, like being able to put up like a 300 squat clean and 255 snatch. And doing street parking, I always say, like, man, I'm going to go into the open. I'm going to be so less unfit. But every time it's weird because even things like I don't think I could do, I'm like better at now.
Right. That's what I was going to say is how would you describe it now? How would you describe what's changed? And I don't expect at all you to say like, oh, I'm fitter now in every way, because that's not realistic. Like I'm not fitter now in every, I mean, I've also had 3 kids. Julian, really the only thing that's changed for him, and I'll use him instead of me as an example because I also have the kids stuff thrown in there, is like high rep gymnastics, skill gymnastics, because we just don't really do it.
Yeah.
And 1 rep, like top end strength.
Yeah.
But a lot of, like what you're saying, a lot of the conditioning stuff is better.
Way better.
Yeah.
It's weird.
And also don't ask us to do more than 1 workout, like with intensity in the same day.
I'm with you on that. Like I used to be able to. I don't anymore.
I would not survive like a 3-day regional competition right now.
It's funny. I don't know how this will really correlate to the question, but I guess I'll try and make it. I guess I've gotten better with this programming of listening to my body. Mm-hmm. So
yes.
Well, like being around a group of friends that are equally fit, like, oh man, my legs hurt or my shoulder. It's like, just work through the pain. Like, come on, we'll do this. And
Yeah.
Who cares? Like, you know what? You'll rest in a couple days. Now it's like, you know what? My shoulder doesn't feel good. I'll do legs or I'll sub something out today.
Right.
Like, and I had no one barking at me saying.
You make better decisions. You make smarter decisions.
But street parking, I feel like since, like, yeah, my overall gymnastics has gone down, but I also don't mind. Like I said, I don't do kipping handstand push-ups anymore.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, that's a personal choice. I try and keep the tension off my neck.
Yeah.
I'll do strict,
Mm-hmm.
but I won't do them in high numbers. I don't do pistols anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I think the difference, like we just said, like street parking is like that fitness freedom part.
Yes.
Where, yeah, sure, like today my legs are smoked.
I bet.
My legs are smoked.
The 2 things that you did yesterday, that makes a lot of sense.
Yes. But if I didn't feel comfortable, like if this was a couple years ago, I might be saying, you know what, forget it. I'm just going to push through it.
Right.
Now I'll be like, all right, maybe I won't do a workout that's legs on their daily program. I'll do it later. And honestly, I feel like that giving my body that necessary rest, or like, man, I need a rest day tomorrow, and then maybe another rest day after that.
Mm-hmm.
And like, where it used to drive me nuts, like I can't take more than 2 rest days in a row, or I'm falling behind. I feel like that's a big thing. People feel like what am I not doing?
Right.
Now it's kind of more of like, all right, just listen to your body, be smart. Like, we're not out here to get injured. We're just out here, like I said, longevity is the key. I'm trying to just be as fit as I possibly can be now for my kids, and
Yeah.
really, really tone that in. And like, I've listened to the podcast where you're always talking about like bodies are key. Like, you know, like you can't, and we talked about this a little bit earlier, like you can't do everything full intensity.
Right.
So even when I'm sore, like maybe I'm like, all right, I'm gonna stay off my legs today, but I'll do something a little bit less intense. Maybe I'll just get the blood flowing, but it won't be anything crazy.
Yeah.
I feel like that's helped a lot.
Yeah, we have similar things. So, I mean, Julian, the heavy lifting is stuff that he won't do. There, butterfly pull-ups mess up my shoulder. I can still do them.
Yep.
They're still way faster, and I don't have to be on the bar for as freaking long. And kipping pull-ups are annoying, but very rarely will I do butterfly pull-ups because it's just not worth it for me.
Yep.
And they don't bother Julian, so he still does them, or other people. But we all have our things, and like you're saying, like in the community, nobody's like, oh, well, why doesn't you have to do it this way or this way? You know, nobody cares. I mean, we share our scores with each other. Like Molly and I still, I mean, she just crushes me at everything pretty much, but we still share like how we did it and what we did. She'll use a heavier weight than I do a lot of the times, and I don't feel like I have to use that weight. Sometimes I'll challenge myself to do it because she did it, but more often if she's like, I use 95, I'll be like, okay, cool, I'll use 85.
Yeah.
I'm smaller than you, I'm older than you, I'm more recently postpartum than you are. And that's like what it is here. Yeah. It's not, oh, well, if I don't do what she did, then I'm like somehow got a less of a workout or something like that.
It's perfect because, like I said, like that's exactly where it came from. Like, you have to do it this way. You have to fight through. Or I'm not going to use yesterday, but like a couple of my friends would be like, hey, I use this weight. Like, you're going to use this weight, right?
I mean, we did fitness bully you a little bit into that weight yesterday, but I knew you could do it. You did great.
Wait, a little bit?
And then Julian, even last night, he was like, again, I'm not going to give away what the workout was, but even Julian last night was like, you got him one more round by yelling at him. And I was like, absolutely.
Yeah. I definitely that doubt crept in. It was one of those things where I thought like, oh, I got this easily. And then as it went on, I was like, this may be tough to come get it through.
Then that was perfect. That's what we wanted. So,
Yep.
What other things are you doing? Because you've mentioned longevity a couple times. What other things, aside from just being smarter about your training and not having such high volume and heavy weight and all of that stuff, are there other lifestyle factors that you're more focused on now?
So, we talked about this. I am not a big social media person.
Right.
I try and dedicate as much as I can to my family. Like, obviously work's in there.
Did you used to be a social media person?
I used to have Facebook.
Okay. I mean, I love this conversation. Most of our staff here, this might surprise you and other people, most of our staff would say if we didn't have to have it for work, we wouldn't use it nearly as much. Like, it's, to me, like when I post something on Instagram or when I go on the Facebook group, it's like me talking to the class. Mm-hmm. So I'm coaching basically. And that's the only way I can communicate with you guys is through those means. But otherwise, I mean, So I totally get it. So what's your reason behind it, and what has that done for you in your life?
So the way I grew up and the way my wife grew up is like, no phones, no hats at the table, TV's off, everything like that. We still honor that. Like dinner time is family time.
That's awesome. You both came from families like that.
Yes, and that's huge. That's your time now. Right now, our kids kind of don't understand that, but we also don't want them to grow up seeing us on our phone at the table. And one of my biggest pet peeves, which is fine for people if it's okay, like, but we don't go to restaurants and like sit next to each other and we're on our phones. Mm-hmm. When we're at the restaurant, put your phone away, whatever, keep in your pocket. Our kids don't get a tablet or whatnot.
At like restaurants and things like that, yeah.
Install that early. We'll still give them a coloring book, or if they have crowns or whatever, we'll give them that. That's perfectly fine. But my big thing is like, how often are you tied up on social media? And I still I fall victim to it. Mm-hmm. I have Instagram, and I hate that I even have that. There's been times where it's the night's winding down. It's me and my wife on the couch. The kids are playing, and like I'm on my phone, scrolling, and next thing, like 10 minutes has gone by.
Mm-hmm. And you're just like, what am I even looking at right now?
Exactly.
How am I on like my friends, cousins, sisters, like business page? Like, what is happening? How have I gone down this rabbit hole?
And I'll look over, my wife will be doing the same thing, and we'll look at each other, and it'll just be like, God, I hate us right now. Like, we are not doing good. And my big reason, like, so I'll post a couple like workouts, like stories, like I'll take a picture of it, whatever. It's really hard. I'll post my score on social media sometimes, but I can't, like, when my workout's done, the whole street parking part of it's done and everything, like, I don't want to have to go in there and be like, all right, let me see what's going on in the street parking world. And from talking to a couple of them, there's a lot that goes on. I heard there's like, some people don't even talk about fitness. It's just like,
oh my gosh. It's like, so the way that I describe our Facebook group is it's a gym. But it's a 35,000 person gym. And so it's like, if you were to walk into an affiliate before class starts, what are people talking about? Random stuff. During the warm up, people are talking about their weekend plans or their family drama or whatever. So anything that you could picture people talking about in person, in class, before class, after class, happens in our Facebook group. There's definitely like groups of friends and people who, talk to each other more. There's the people who the only thing they ever post are like memes and GIFs. And there's the dude who's always like borderline inappropriate. Like any character that you can think of in a class is in there.
Yeah, they were saying that happens, and there's all these subgroups. I'm like,
there was a singles group for a while that had to be shut down because it just got out of control. We didn't create it, but even the members that created it were like, we got to shut this down.
Yeah. It's just, and I could see how easy that could be, getting lost in that.
Yeah.
And like I said, there's nothing wrong with it. It's just my focus. I don't want my focus to be there.
What you have, though, is because you have your wife. So you guys have that connection together, and you love to work out together, and you do the workouts together. So you don't really need, it's super useful is for people who like, are single, or maybe their spouse doesn't want to do fitness with them or whatever, and so they just are trying to find a buddy or a group of friends to chat with about the workouts with. But you don't need that. You have your wife. So
yeah, and I 100% get it. Like I 100% get the people that want to be on there. Like I said, there's nothing wrong with it, but it's just my view is like when I'm done with fitness, I want to focus on my family. I want my kids.
That's the whole point of not going to the gym, is so that you're not all day.
Exactly. I want my kids to see, okay, daddy's done working out. Now he's not going to be on his phone, or it stinks because my line of work, sometimes I have to do stuff. But me and my wife really try and make it about them. So I don't want to be caught in everything.
No, for sure. And I think like one of the things I've noticed since you've been here, even when you emailed in your answers to our questions, was that like you felt like you almost needed to apologize for not being a part of all of it. But you don't, because I would venture to guess that there are more, and I don't have like statistics on this or anything, but I would guess there are more people like you who follow the program, they do the stuff. They might see our social media posts and stuff to keep up with what's going on. Obviously, you follow everything enough to know how to apply to come here to be a part of the vault.
I'm not like 100% black.
Oh, right.
From I do follow.
But there are more people like you than there are the super active people. Yeah. And that's important for us to remember too, because at the end of the day, like we're here to foster the community, and it's a really cool like thing, but our actual product is the program. And so always keeping our focus on making sure that's good for all the people who aren't, and knowing that there's a lot of people out there that we get stories emailed to us sometimes. Like someone will be like, I've lost 100 pounds doing street parking, and we've never seen this person before ever. And we're just like, what? And that's amazing. And so to remember that is really important.
And those are the stories I like the community's an added bonus. And I love what the community, like I said, like I see it on Instagram and the pictures, and I have never done a meetup. As crazy as that, I'd still like to do one. I don't think that's out of the question. I just think I haven't had a chance, or it hasn't been close enough to the point where.
Yeah, you have two little kids too.
Yeah. I think the community aspect of it is awesome. Like I'm all for the community. Like yesterday was awesome with everyone high five, and I love that. And I remember when I first started CrossFit, that's what it was about. You ran, you high fived everyone. So like seeing and hearing it, like them talk and how excited, like Joe's excited about like the wolf pack.
Oh, he loves it. He wants you in it.
I know. He's trying really hard to convince
I don't know whose episode comes out first. So if Joe's workout hasn't come out yet, we talk about this group that's called the Wolf Pack. That's like this group of guys. I think he said there's like 250 guys in it.
He said it's pretty competitive too.
And there are like 60 of them that participate in this vault leaderboard that they have going on. And they submit their vault scores, and it has to be done, correctly, and the way it's written and all of this stuff. It's one workout a week that has to be done with no fitness freedom type stuff. But yeah, I know he wants you in on it.
It's hard because and that's an awesome aspect. I love that. Like I just did the open.
But year round, that's tough.
That's tough because I've been Napoleon where I'm now where I used to repeat the workout if I wasn't happy with my score in the open. Now I'm just one and done. Doesn't matter if how it's done. It's just done. And I made the quarterfinals. I have no desire to do it. I have no desire to walk.
We're the same. Yeah.
So to do that, 25 weeks.
I mean, at least the workouts are a little. I mean, it's not. They don't get as crazy. They don't get as crazy.
Yeah. I'm consistent. I don't know how consistent I could be with that.
Okay, tell them maybe when your kids are older.
I'll just keep pushing it off.
Or you can just post your time and then.
Maybe I'll just text it to them.
Close it. Yeah. So you don't have to have Facebook.
Yeah.
What are your do you ever follow some of the extra programs? Like I know one of the most popular extra programs that people will say they did is like 52-week endurance, or I want to do, like we have the barbell club now where if you do some of the barbell extra programming, do you ever follow any of the programs like thoroughly? What I mean is by that is like, okay, for the next 12 weeks, I'm going to do an Oli EMOM once a week and actually follow it in order. I'm going to do 5-3-1 for like a cycle, and I'm going to actually do it, or starting strength. Do you ever follow any of the extra programs like that, or you totally just pick and choose with what you feel for the day?
Pick and choose, and I'd probably say the last program like I did through that was while I was doing street parkings, before the app, before the 52 weeks endurance, like before I like really started diving in. I'm a big Chris Hinshaw fan. I know you probably are. And I was following his for a while, like everything. But ever since then, like it's tough because even if my wife's not home, we both can't go run.
Right.
Like one of us, the kids are napping. Like one of us has to be there.
Right.
So, no, I'll cherry pick. Like I think I have maybe 4 or 5 workouts done of the 52-week endurance, but it might be like workout 2 and like workout like 3.
Right.
But it might also be I just need something for how my body feels.
Aside from the dirty work, what other extra programs do you do the most often?
Love Bro Sesh.
Okay, nice.
I mean,
We're about to have a new Bro Sesh.
I
Actually,
can
by
see
the
that.
time this comes out, the Bro Sesh will already be released.
Perfect.
So.
Love Bro Sesh.
Nice.
My wife probably enjoys it more than me. She's like, we should do a Bro Sesh today.
Really?
Yeah. I'm like,
Did you know want to hear something? I've never done a Bro Sesh.
What?
Isn't that crazy?
It is. I mean,
And it's not because I wouldn't want to. I just, I usually when he's creating those workouts, he'll like grab DH or somebody,
Yeah.
a bro, and be like, come test this Bro Sesh with me. And so, and a lot of them for some reason, not this last one, but a lot of them when he was creating them, I was pregnant.
Yeah.
So,
No,
yeah.
I definitely find enjoyment because I mean, I still got to do curls and push-ups and benches.
For sure.
I love it. I mean, some of my favorite workouts, daily workouts, are when like you guys throw bench in there.
Oh, I do. I know people love the bench, so I try to put it in there at least like once a month.
Yeah, there was one recently. It was like I think it was run bench and bar muscle ups. It might have been like maybe like 3 months now, but it was probably one of my favorite. Other than the 100 burpee box jump over for time, like 1 minute on, 1 minute off.
Ooh,
I do like that one. That one's probably like
so
tough.
bad.
It hurts and you know it's gonna hurt, but I don't know. It's one of those like it's mentally like how long can I like keep this pace and how willing.
Let me try to hit 20 one more time. Let me try to hit 20 one more time,
It
or
usually
whatever.
lasts
You
like
know.
2 or 3 rounds, and then I'm down
Yeah.
to like 18 and 19. But
Yeah.
it's nice. It's nice to be like, how long am I willing to suffer? So I do like that one.
One of the other confessions, so you made the confession about not being super active in the community. Well, your other confession in your email from before is your nutrition. Talk to what's your eating like, and what's your general, like, most of the time, how do you guys eat? Because it sounds like your wife has the same priorities as far as fitness and health that you do. But you have 2 little kids, so it's hard, and you work. Does your wife work?
She does.
Okay, what does she do?
She works in the fitness industry. She works for Optum.
Okay.
She works full time from home, so I have no
Great.
idea how she works from home.
Wow, and she has
takes
wow,
care of 2 kids. But
she's amazing and does the fitness and beats you sometimes.
easy. No, yeah, she. I don't know how she does it. It is.
That's
pretty
crazy.
amazing, but yeah, she's busy. She's doing work calls, and then she's got the kids in the background. So
Wow. I mean,
she's definitely a lot more patient and stronger in that aspect than I am. 100%.
Yeah.
I'm not afraid to admit
that's
that.
why she beats you sometimes, because she has that mental.
Yes, 100%. Yeah.
Okay, so what's your guys' in general day-to-day eating like?
So mainly we do eat well. Like
Yeah, so what kind of stuff?
we do follow this street parking ingredient. Like we'll
Okay.
we'll pick stuff from there. We
Like
actually
the
did
recipes and stuff?
the Korean beef, but we
So
did
good.
turkey. It's
So
probably
good.
my favorite thing. Like I like to take that for lunch.
Okay.
I do like to take that for lunch. We try and eat like, so she'll plan Monday through Friday out for dinners. We try and help each other with lunches. Breakfast is usually like, I'm a big plain Greek yogurt guy. I like throw a scoop of peanut butter, blueberries, strawberries, raspberries,
Simple.
whatever. Yeah. But especially with like.
Do you guys cook most of your food? Do you like meal prep, like a lot of it? Do you, yeah.
Try and meal prep lunches, and then we cook mainly dinners.
Okay.
Occasionally, like we're both just exhausted. We're like, what do you want to do for takeout? Like,
Right.
but we do like our snacks.
Okay, so this was the confession part of it.
Yeah, we do like our
So,
snacks.
well, I actually wrote on the board over here because I always like put a few little notes in case I lose my train of thought. I was telling Salvi when he was setting up the cameras that I was like, I feel like Jake and Julian are the same person because you literally wrote out, I'm a big pumpkin spice guy.
365. There's never a time not to drink pumpkin spice.
But how do you get pumpkin spice 365? Do you buy the syrup?
Oh no, I don't want to. Like I actually like the nutmeg,
Actual
cinnamon.
pumpkin spice, like dust.
Yeah, like the one that comes
Not
already
the
in
syrup.
The coffee. The syrup one's okay. That's like
Okay.
a luxury. Like if I'm rarely gonna indulge in something, but I do like the actual natural flavor of it. But I could eat like pumpkin pie, pumpkin flavored thing. Like I'll be working out and I'll get done if my wife's not in there, and I'll send her like a recipe of like something, and she'll just respond like, "I'm guessing you want me to make this," and then she'll just send me like the list of ingredients to go pick up from the store, and we'll eat.
You said you love sweets.
I do. I got a sweet tooth.
How often do you eat sweets? You can be honest.
Yeah, I gotta really process this one. It's tough. It's probably a little bit less when I didn't have kids, obviously.
Because you just don't keep them in the house as much, or what? It's more now or less now?
It's more now. It's less when I didn't have kids.
Oh, okay.
Sorry. I don't know if I phrased that right. It's probably like 3-4 times a week, maybe. But
what's your go-to most common?
dessert or like snack?
But both, I guess.
So popcorners.
What is a popcorner? I thought that because you wrote that in your email, but I thought it was just a.
It's like a chip, but it's
I've never heard of this.
It's legit like a triangle popcorn.
Where do you buy those?
Any store, I would imagine.
Oh, members are going to be
delicious.
posting their pictures of popcorners
Yeah,
now.
they are guilty. Like I could open a bag, just start eating it, and then I put my hand in the bag, and it's like I just went through an entire bag.
We used to
sitting
buy this bag from Costco of Chicago mix. It's like it's a mixture of it's popcorn. It's a mixture of like caramel popcorn and cheddar cheese popcorn, and that sounds really weird, but the combo
bet it's
together
good.
is like,
Yeah.
and we had to stop buying it.
there. Usually weird stuff like that is good though.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, popcorn is definitely one of my favorite snacks. I could definitely eat a whole bag of that. I mean, I'm a big cereal person. We were talking about like that.
Do you still do cereal?
Not
Like
as much-
nighttime cereals?
not as-
Because that was one of the things that Julian really like when we got together. I was like, how old are you? You eat
Yeah.
cereal at night before you go to bed?
So I used to be able to eat like a whole box.
But the truth is he was only like 27 years old, so that's why.
I'm still not like I still like if I have to snack on something, I'm like, yeah, let me just get this bowl of cereal and I fill it to the top. And I'm like, you know, I got a little- I got
What's
a
your
little bit
go-to cereal?
more. I really like the Special K like fruit and yogurt ones.
Okay, so it's not like you're hammering like Reese's Puffs or something like that.
I don't like Reese's Puffs. Like nah, like I couldn't do anything like that. Like even my daughter, she's really into Cheerios, which makes it a lot easier on me.
Yeah.
When she like the day she wants to get into like Fruit Loops or Cookie Crisp, God help us, because
Oh, they still make Cookie Crisp?
oh, they're delicious. I think I had it like 4 or 5 years ago for like the first time I made like the whole box.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but I'll do like the simple cereals.
Okay.
It's like I said, it's tough. Like I'll fill it up and then.
What about your wife? Does she do that kind of stuff too?
No.
Not at all.
And she would probably eat a lot better without me. She's always.
I'm the same way, yes.
She'll blame me. Hey, you know, we don't need this. We just ate bad last night. I'd be like, yeah, I can't help it. Sorry.
I would say that I talk more smack to Julian about the random stuff that he eats than our fitness. Like I troll him big time. Like he'll buy some random thing that he sampled at Costco, and I'll be like, why did you buy this? And I'll take a picture of it and I'll send it to Molly, and I'll be like, this is why Julian's not leaner than me. Or like he'll like order pizza when like Brian, our accountant, was just in town and they got pizza, and
Big pizza.
I'll just talk smack to them. Like, so this is why you guys are.
I could eat pizza a couple times a week. I love pizza.
We used to eat pizza once a week, and then I got really sick, not from the pizza, but it just happened to coincide at the same time, and now I'm struggling with it.
That's me with avocados. I don't eat avocados.
Oh, because of that.
Yeah, if it's in sushi, like that's me and my wife will.
We love sushi too.
Yeah, but you can't really taste it. I got really sick like a couple years ago, like salmonella, and that's what I got sick off of. And I lost like 21 pounds, like
Wow.
2-3 days.
Oh my gosh.
And ever since then, nothing. Like I don't even have to, if something comes with avocado, my wife will already say, yeah, don't put avocado on it for me. I won't eat it.
You said that you wanted to. One of the questions that we ask when you guys before you come is like, is there a certain group of people that you would want to like, when they're listening to this podcast, that you would want to like reach? And your group, you said a couple of things, but one of the groups was law enforcement, which we haven't talked about a lot. What is it, fitness wise, like messaging wise, that you think is important for them to hear?
Just like shift work, I feel like people always kind of use it as an excuse. So like I said, I've worked out at like 4:30 in the morning. If you name a time, I've probably worked out minus like 1 a.m. to like 3 a.m. There's times I've worked out at midnight on shift. It's just the fact that like I've heard it a bunch of times. Like I just wake up, I'm too tired. I just don't have enough time. I have other things to do at home, and no one's different. Like we all have the same. Some people have kids, some people don't. Some people are working on house projects. Some people are living from home. Like it's just an excuse.
Yeah. Well, do you think that part of the problem is like what we were talking about before is that they think like, well, I'm not going to be able to go as hard because it's 4 a.m. or it's midnight. Yeah. And so like, what's the point?
100%. I think that plays into it. I think a lot of people are well, why am I going to go there if I'm just going to do I mean, the testosterone and stuff that's flowing around in like some of our minds is like, why am I going to do body weight stuff? Why do I need to do burpees? Why do I, like, if I can't put
it's got to be an
weight,
hour of lifting
100%.
or it's not going to do
100%.
anything for me.
And like I said, there's been times like I've woken up off night shift and maybe I've only gotten 3-4 hours of sleep because of the kids. And I'm like, all right, I'm going to work in like 2 hours and the kid just went down for a nap. I have the option of napping or maybe just getting in there for 30 minutes to 40 minutes, maybe just even hopping on the bike for 30 minutes. And usually I come out of there and my wife will know, like, you're cranky, you haven't worked out. Like,
yeah.
And I'll come out of there and I'll just feel better. Like, it doesn't matter how tired I am. Like, all right, I accomplished something at least today. And that's huge. That definitely a morale booster.
It's weird because it's hard to explain to people that doing something that requires a lot of energy will give you more energy, but it's true.
Yeah.
And because I talk to a lot of, for me, I get more questions of like, how did you work out when you were pregnant? Like, I'm so tired. And I'm like, I know this doesn't make any sense, but if you work out, you'll have more energy.
Nice.
But it's true.
Yeah, I feel like you just, like I said, you just feel better about yourself. You accomplish something, self-gratitude, like it's just, there's something about it.
Yeah, the sweat is important. It's a form of meditation. It like clears your brain. It gives you more energy. You feel accomplished. Like your confidence is better, everything. So, cool. And then the other group was that group of just members who like aren't super involved in the community. We've already talked about it a little bit. Hopefully you coming here has like made you feel a little bit less weird about it, or like that we care maybe more than you think.
Absolutely. Because I was like, why am I getting selected? Like I know my name's not out there. I know my name is definitely not out there. So, yeah, I think like the people that are like me that are, whether they're either afraid to throw something on Facebook or even like do a meetup or come out and meet you guys at one of the events you guys put together, or they're like me where it's just like I want to use it primarily as fitness and kind of focus on the external things in my life. I mean, it could be done. Like, you guys do a great job paying attention. Like, I came here and felt like I knew you guys for like 10 years. You guys are very personable. Like, everything's just, I came in, I was like, it was like hanging out with my friends. Like, I feel like I knew you guys. Like, I've obviously had seen you guys over the years with the programming and everything like that, but like, you guys are all real easygoing. Like, I feel like I'm a really laid back person. Like I said, I don't like to post. I don't really like to do much. I like to stay with my family. I like to stay within myself. But you know, the programming is, even if you don't want to dabble with that community online and be involved in that, like it's still nice to know like you guys have everyone's back, everyone's best interest, and that not just for you guys, like the whole community. Like I talk to them and like I feel like I might be on Instagram or Facebook and I know them for years just from the conversations we've had here.
Yeah,
so
your group has been
nice
really
to be
cool.
Like one of the average people just doing this for a daily workout and still feel like I'm part of the community.
I know that your friend Joey was a big advocate for you doing street parking, but I think one good question that I want to make sure to ask you is why did you choose street parking and why have you stayed with street parking as opposed to doing some other type of like competitive program? Because I think that's where all the guys who work out at home, so many of them are there. And I don't think there's anything wrong with those programs, to be clear. But I wonder why somebody like you would be here for 4 years as opposed to being on one of those programs.
And I mean, there's a lot of good ones out there.
For sure.
And a lot of big names out there. It's one of those things like you can't just choose a program. They're not all the same size. They're not all the same thing. Like everything has something a little bit different. It's just how long am I going to sustain this intensity? How, some programs it's like here's two Metcons and some strength, and I had done the CrossFit Chalk 30-day one, and that was hard. That was hard, but it was like intensity almost every day, and I thought it was awesome, but it was also like I don't think I could sustain that. Like
right.
Like for this, like I said, it's awesome because it's that fitness freedom of A, B, C, shift, and then even within that, like if I want to change something because I'm not feeling right or something's not good, whatever, I can. And it's just I looked at the workouts. I've obviously, like you guys posted free ones on street parking, and I had done them. And I think like the overall programming where it is except other than last week where my legs were destroyed for a little bit, it's been pretty consistent. Like, hey, we're gonna really hit like legs here. This might be like a midline day. You know, this might be a little shoulder intense, and this might hit everything, but it's never, we're going to hit the same movement. The intensity is going to be up. Some days it's a really intense workout. Some days it's a longer workout. Some days it's a quick one. Some days it's more of intervals. So I really like that variety. I don't like, hey, we're going to do 2 workouts. This is what you have to do. This is the weight you should use. It's more of, hey, if you're feeling it, go for this weight, or here's the options. And I always like to see the goals. Sometimes I fall in front of the goal. Sometimes I fall behind the goal, and I'm like, no, there's no way. How's someone hitting the goal in this? The hardest
That
thing.
question gets brought up on the Facebook group a lot too.
Yeah, but it really was a look, because I mean, I looked at a few different programs, and just I was telling Julian this yesterday. It's a big reason. Like, so you got I don't remember the year, but it was, I think you were pregnant with your first. He declined his invite to the games.
It was in 2017.
2017. All right. He declined, and I thought, to me, that was like the coolest thing in the world, that he declined basically for you and future family. And like, that's huge to me. Like we've talked a little bit, like family that's my number one. My number one is my family. And I thought, like, anyone that's cool enough to do that deserves a little bit more attention. And
I love that.
And that's kind of a big chunk of the reason where I really start to focus in on you guys.
I love that. I think one of the things, that we encourage people to do is like, why are you doing that? If you're actively trying to compete and that's a goal that you have, then all of the extra volume and the heavy lifting and stuff is going to be necessary. Yeah. But it's like, even with Julian declining the games, I know one of the things that when he's been interviewed, people will be like, oh, you did that for your wife. And he's like, no. He's like, I wanted to be there for the birth. Like, it's like an experience for me too, to see my child the moment that he's born 100%. And all of that stuff. And I think if more guys in your situation with young kids or kids of any age really could be like, why am I doing 2 hours of training on a Saturday when I could be like, what's the real why behind it? Like, why am I so attached to this? Yeah. I think it's important for all of us to ask, but I think men fall victim to it more, it seems, to like really hold on to the volume. I need so much volume in my training, and I need the lifting, and I need to spend the hours, and I need to be competitive and all of that.
I think it's a misconception, because I feel like I'm still doing fine.
I mean, yeah, I would say so.
I'm still pretty competitive.
And I think it is a misconception that you need all of it.
Agreed. Like, I think
for
intensity is probably,
yes.
You can't be your most intense when you've done so much volume. That falls off.
People often use volume so that they don't have to go as hard and be as uncomfortable.
Exactly.
Well, if it was 2 hours, then I can feel good about it. But if it's only 15 minutes, then I'm going to have to like really.
I hit that workout the other day. It was a 10-minute AMRAP of front squats and box jump overs and push press.
It was like a couple days ago.
I did it at a very light weight. I did it I took 115. That was the only thing I did, and I was smoked. And I was only in the gym 25 minutes with the warm up.
Right.
I was smoked, and I was like, I'm not gonna go too hard, and it's just 3, 2, 1, go. And it's like, man, I only got 10 minutes, and this is what I want to do, and it's just it's as simple as that. Like, I didn't need more than that 10-minute AMRAP. Like, the intensity was more than enough, and I don't think volume.
How many times a week, because we haven't talked about this, and this is a good question to ask somebody who's like at your fitness level, how many times a week do you do that to yourself, to where you're like on the ground afterwards, destroyed? I would say for me personally, maybe 2 times a week, I'll be that way. Maybe 3.
Yeah, I would say it really depends on the week. It depends on what you guys program. Let me say that. Because there's been times where I'm like, nah, I'm going to take it easy. And then 3, 2, 1 goes. And like I said, either my wife's behind me, and next thing you know, like, I'm like, no, she can't beat me. And I have to push a little bit more than I want to. There's times where I know what the stimulus calls for, and I'm fully 100% committed. And then there's just times where it's like the workout was long. It was a time domain of like 20, 25 minutes, and I'm smoked. I would say probably 2-3 times. Probably accurate.
Because some of the workouts, you can look at it and you know that that's not what we're going for anyway. And so if you're not feeling that way, you can be like, well, I'm just going to do Thursday's workout because it's not as crazy as Tuesday's was.
Agreed.
But I think it's important to hear two things that you still need to, if you want to maintain or gain like a level of fitness that you have, you have to experience that at least a couple times a week. Like you have to actually just wreck yourself. And I don't mean like in a move, I don't mean like in a move sloppy way and be, you know, unsafe, but like, yeah, if that's why we like to do the live workouts, is so that people can see like how it actually looks, what the intensity actually looks like for different people. Cause everybody that's in those videos, the people in our office have a wide variety of fitness levels. But then not to expect yourself to be able to do that every single day. And when I see members that are like, oh yeah, like I'll do like the main workout and then I'll do this and this and this, and I'm like, how? Yeah. Like even if you have time, like I'm like yesterday after the vault workout that I did for this next round, I was like, I have a headache, like I'm destroyed right now, and our workout was very short.
Yeah, I liked your workout. 100% my wheelhouse. I am looking forward to doing that one. It's funny because we brought this up a few times, like how could you get the volume or for like training purposes? It is funny because you guys put everything out there. You guys have, here's the main workout, here's what we're looking for, but then here's the accessory pieces. Hey, this workout goes really good with butts and guts workout. Like you guys put it out there.
Yeah.
But you can't baby everyone to saying, well, you need to do this, this, and this. Like, it's also like some people, you got to just put the puzzle pieces together yourself. Like, hey, I'm doing this workout. A good accessory piece would be maybe lower body and figuring out, because like we talked about, like you could still be very competitive doing street park. I think so too. Workouts fall. It's funny. So when I first joined, I hated wall walks. And anytime wall walks would show up, I would just do handstand push-ups.
So Julian did the same thing. And he was like, yeah, these are lame or whatever.
Yeah, I'm not gonna. I was like, I hate that. Why are we doing these? So before
they're so hard though. They're so good.
They are. Before they got announced in the open, I started doing them.
Oh, you're so lucky you did it before.
And I was like, all right, I was like mentally saying, let me stop doing kipping. So let me try these. And then that first open workout when they first introduced came out, and I was like, it was like Dave Castro was reading my mind. I was like, God.
We tried to get, so there was a couple years before they put him in the open, maybe like 1 year before they put him in the open, we were invited with this group of other programs like CompTrain and I don't know if Mayhem was there, but anyways, there was other programs to help program Wodapalooza. Yeah. We tried to get wall walks into Wodapalooza, and everybody there was looking at us like, those are so dumb. Like, and we're like, no, you just put a tape line here and you do this and this. And they just looked at us like, we're not doing wall walks. So and then it's so funny.
Guys, Joey had programmed it in the old affiliate, and it was with like sit-ups and then rest and like some rope climbs. And I remember people being like, this is gonna be dumb. Like wall walks is a warm-up, like a work up to your handstand push-up. I was like, no, this workout is gonna wreck everybody. I promise you. Like, I was same thing. Like wall walks are dumb, but I just know how hard they are. And now I'm like, they're one of my favorite movements. Like
I love them.
They will humble even the best CrossFitter.
Yeah.
So
that's awesome.
I'm a huge fan of them.
Well, I love hearing your story. I love people getting to know and just realizing that there are so many people that we are in our community that are out there doing it, and they're kind of like silent assassin, lone wolf type members, and that's really, really cool. So hopefully some of them might not be on social media, but maybe they listen to the podcast, will hear this. I hope that we can get more guys hearing your story and not just saying, well, Julian's an anomaly, because it's not just him. There are other people out there doing it that are super fit and just keeping it very simple and spending time with their family and have their priorities straight. So thank you. And I can't wait for people to see your guys' workout. It's super epic.
Epic, yeah. Thank you.
All right, thank you.